I definitely have more respect for you than I do for Amanda.
Why are you such a honestly?
Chop chop! We're breaking wind and serving fashion this week on RuPaul's Drag Race, and that's a mandatory. I'm Anna Rumor with PopCulture.
And I'm Nick Valdez from comicbook.com.
And this is PopCulture's Social Call, where we offer up our unfiltered opinions about RuPaul's Drag Race, because, oh my God, this season's gonna be called the Burger Finger season. These girls have got some serious beef with one another. We're going in on the 5th episode of RuPaul's Drag Race, season 16. We're doing the girl group challenge, and we are giving those Spice Girls a run for their money because there is some serious drama going on. Nick, what did you think about this week's episode?
Oh, what a season. I am absolutely loving this season so far. Just every queen has something to offer us, just in terms of just great television. And there's no better example of it than this week. Let's just jump right in, because I just want to talk about everything. The mini challenge was fine. I will just say that straight out. Yes, like Sapphira winning, you know, they had to come up with the memoir. It's very, like, it made me realize RuPaul has a new memoir out, so good job. Like, I can't wait to read that. You know?
Yeah, a very strong commercial, I guess. Sapphira won it. She's like winning all of these mini challenges, and I don't care. Let's talk about the drama. That's fine. That's all good. Let's talk about the drama, because you know what? Say what you want about Plain Jane. Her feuds with everyone is like really bringing this season to a new level, and I'm really living for it.
Plain Jane is clearly just in her full villain era, and you know, then you have queens like Amanda who just aren't standing for it. Like, you know, that's the other thing too. It's like, don't take it just don't take it.
Yeah, honestly, that's the fun thing for me. Because if Plain Jane was just like punching down this whole time and everyone was just kind of like, oh, okay, that's hurting my feelings, that's not fun to watch. It's fun to watch Amanda snap back and be like, hey, what's your problem? Why are you so horrible to me? Why do you care if you don't like my drag? And seeing Q push back and be like, yeah, although I agreed with Plain Jane there, you know, that's a lot of emotion for top. But even seeing her push back and be like, you know what, you were invalidating my feelings and I'm allowed to feel how I want to feel. It's the tension that's fun for me.
Yes, even Sapphira having to get involved and being like, look, it's enough.
Mother is mothering. I was also surprised by how catty kind of all the girls have gotten this season.
Yes.
Like, we see this, the Maxi Challenge, we've got this girl group challenge, you know, all the queens get together in their groups, they perform a new verses to RuPaul's numbers. We've seen this before, but during the rehearsal process, everyone was kind of getting into it. Everyone was kind of making fun of each other in a way that felt a little bit less kind-spirited than in the past. Like, they were all making fun of Q for her Frankenstein walk. What was it Plain Jane said about Megami? She said that she looked like she was looking for mommy at the mall when she was rehearsing. Like, that's funny. And I love seeing it, but I'm shocked that these girls feel like they can be that way to each other this season.
Yeah, I think, you know, we talked about the Raid of Queen early on and how it just seemed like a weird move, but honestly, it might have been genius because it put them in this mindset of being very competitive and looking at every little detail of the other queens, and that's kind of stuck around. It's making for some fine television. It feels like an early season. Like, it doesn't have the claws of the early seasons just yet, but like, this is great. Like, we're in the logo era, basically. Especially when we get to the girl group performances themselves. You know, they are broken up into three groups of 4 each, you know, and are given Star Baby, ASMR Lover, and Courage to Love, which is, you know, off the Black Butter album, ASMR Lover is the best one. It's probably the best one since Catwalk, honestly, from the Mamoru album. It's a great song.
Great song.
So I was instantly more interested in one of the groups because of that.
Let's start with Star Baby, which was Sapphira, Dawn, Morphine, and Q. Now, I was surprised by this performance, if only for the fact that we found something Q is not good at. She moves like a robot when she dances, and it's hilarious to watch.
Yeah, love Pink, you know?
Yeah. Yeah. Oh my God, that was so funny. And the other girls like reading her for it was so funny too, because Q has been so strong at everything. She's been funny. Her outfits are always amazing. Her runways are always iconic. And watching her just kind of like beep up around with these stiff little arms and legs, I was like, okay, she's human after all. She's not a drag robot.
Yeah, it's also why she didn't win that first lip sync for the win, you know, because she's not that great of a dancer. And now it's clear that she's not that great of a dancer. And it's a shame because, you know, it's not like any of their made up lyrics are bad. You know, we don't have, this year, we are lucky to be saved from any queens talking about like snatching the crown. And,
Mama,
you know,
gonna snatch the crown.
Yeah. None of the lyrics have that this season. I think maybe Tsunami's has the only mention of like Ru and maybe Nymphia's later on, but it's a shame because then the weaknesses really stand out. And unfortunately for Q in her group, it was her.
I agree. I was surprised though at Morphine because, you know, she's beautiful, but I didn't know if she had the moves to go with it, but she really turned it out. She choreographed this whole dance. She looked amazing while doing it. She really brought like the energy and the fun. She was a standout for me. And Sapphira was great too, like no surprise there. But I did feel like she was it almost felt like she was like holding back just so these other girls could like get their screen time.
Right. And that's what's going to be tough about Sapphira, because Sapphira is one of those queens that she's so polished that eventually they're going to find a flaw to like have something to say about her, right? I think that this might be the start of that. This might be oh, you're in your head. Oh, you're too good, which is like, come on.
I hate that. I hate it when they say, you're too good. You need to show us your flaws. You know what? Some people are just really good at stuff, okay? Dawn did a great job too. She looked adorable. Her verse was fine. I mean, I thought she did better than I expected her to. Let's move on to the second group, Courage to Love. We had Plasma, Amanda, Tsunami, and Plain. First of all, the producer who told Plasma that she had to pick Amanda and Plain deserves an Emmy. That was peak. You can see the producer's little fingies in that. That was very funny. And I loved watching Amanda kind of eat up Plain in rehearsals, but when it came time for the actual performance, that was not really the case.
God, I so wanted her to like really turn it out and really kill it and just like really like do that redemption and be like, I can step up to Plain and be the one to like show her I can really do this. But when you see that her drag aesthetic isn't there and the technique isn't 100% there, and it's just a shame. Once again, just like the first girl group, none of the lyrics were too bad. Like they were all just fine. The flaws really stand out more. And with Amanda, they really, really stuck out. You know, her wig was in her face the entire time. Her padding was lumpy, and it's just a shame because then Plain comes in, Plain with like the best the best lyrics in her group, and it's just it's such a shame.
She ate them up. Unfortunately, she ate them up. And you know who? Amanda and Plasma had great voices, but they were just kind of bringing whatever. Amanda looked a hot mess. What else was new? And Tsunami was good, kind of serving and doing her own thing, but I was watching Plain the entire time. I mean, sorry, you get to be the villain when you're this good at Drag Race. All right, let's move on to your favorite, and my favorite too, ASMR lover. We got Geneva, Maya, Nymphia, and Megami. Now, they did the classic switcheroo on us with this edit. They show them during rehearsals. They're struggling. They can barely move. Maya is whispering these instructions to them. I was like, oh my God, they're a goner. That's such a bummer. No, they came out, they slayed. They were the best group easily. They had the best lyrics, all of them. Nymphia killed me. Maya had an amazing verse. Loved her reference and her being out there flipping. See, she is funny. And Megami had a great verse too. Like, they all did a really good job.
Yeah, I think they were the only group with like ad libs, like the
That was cool. That was cool.
That's just in my head. And, you know, and Geneva with the, if you want to catch up, subtitles are down here lyric. And like, it's so clever. And Megami too, like she got picked last and she had this whole breakdown over it. Understandably. That sucks. But she did really well here. I think her verse was probably the best one.
Oh, me too. And Nymphia is she is my winner for the season. I keep telling you, because Saphira pointed it out. She's not saying what she's good at. She just goes in, she has a little bit of a silly time during rehearsal, and then she nails the performance. And she reveals to us, she was like, oh yeah, I was in a little K-pop drag group before this. Oh,
yeah,
know.
I've
already been in a girl group.
I was a K-pop star, just throw it in there just casually, and it's clear we can see it, and it's just so good. I've already seen it like 3 times.
I know, I keep rewatching it. She's so good. When she does the little splits in the air, I'm like, oh, slay. Let's get into this runway, which was Faster Pussycat Wig, an ode to the Pussycat Wig, which is, you know, a drag race contestant in and of itself every season.
Yes.
Morphine starts off this runway. She comes down the runway in this like Catwoman Michelle Pfeiffer look with the stitches and the blood dripping from her hair. I thought she looked amazing. She's so beautiful.
The only thing I will say is that the hips were kind of odd to me. Yeah, like maybe if they hugged a little more, but that's just me wanting just something. I don't know. That's the other thing. I don't know if that would have improved it either, because I'm just like, I love her. She looked gorgeous.
I think that she sells herself short, and Michelle does talk about this later. She says, you're more than a BBL. And I think that when people were like, well, why should she not get to show her body? Like, that's a crazy critique. I think what Michelle meant was like, you don't have to rely on that. Like, of course you can bring that up, but she causes me to underestimate her every episode because she seems to just lay into that part of herself and not acknowledge how good she is at everything else. And I agree. I want her to kind of come into her full self and realize how sickening she is.
Yeah, it's hard to believe that she's the queen who came out in a towel on the first week. So, like...
I forgot about that.
When you see that look, the towel and bathing suit, and you compare it to looks like this, you're like, oh.
Now, speaking of, like, consistency, though, we've got Q, who comes out in this, like, Joan of Arc vampire look. I thought she looked amazing, and I can't believe that she makes all this stuff. She's just so talented.
Yeah, I love the details. Like, I love the little knight helmet, and like, I'm a big fan of swords.
Big sword fan. So yeah.
Yeah, like I loved it. Once again, one little detail that I don't know would have improved it or not. It's just maybe the blood was a little chunky. That was my only thing.
Oh.
Yeah.
Too chunky of a blood.
Yeah.
Now we've got Saphira who walks down the runway next. And I didn't love this look, but I do love the reference so much. She comes out basically as Dr. 𝐒𝐲𝐻. It's a reference to Dr. Evil from Austin Powers. She's got this little like cat wig. She turns around and it's a pussycat, haha. And then she does the little pinky to mouth thing. I thought that was very funny.
Yeah, like it's showing her range.
What did you think about Dawn's look? Because I felt like this was a little polarizing for people. She's a cute little troll doll, but that is not a pussycat wig. I don't care what she tells me.
I don't like the queens who kind of don't really follow the rule of the week.
Yeah.
It's kind of a cop-out to like have like not a complete pussycat wig, but even then, I don't know if it would have changed my opinion of the look. This is Dawn's aesthetic, and it's the most Dawn we've gotten, but also it kind of highlights how busy her looks are. And to me, it's like, it's very Monster High, it's very youthful, and I do like it, but at the same time, it's got a lot going on.
What did you think about Plasma's look? Because Ru loved this, and I did not.
I thought it was cute. Like, it's super cute. It's a fun idea, but it's the Dawn problem too, where there's a lot going on. I think maybe without like the feathery sleeves, it would like have a more just like, if it were pure Hermes and just like the feathered boots and the headphones, maybe it would work. But yeah, it looks busy.
Well, we've got Amanda up next, and I don't even know what would serve her. She comes out as an egg. Okay. And then she's got 2 other pussycat wigs next to her as other eggs.
She certainly does.
I see the concept here. I know what she's doing, but like, why would you do that? And also, it looks so bad. The makeup's crazy. It's not even Robin's egg blue. Like, what? I don't know what we're doing here. It's so crazy.
She's in another dimension, and I wish we could be there with her to really understand how she connected the dots in this way. I want to know how she came to this concept and like how she ended up pulling it off. Because like the part of me that loves Amanda, my Amanda bias is just like, I don't know, for her, it's not that wild of a look. Does that make sense?
I think that is your Amanda bias, because I need you to look at it again and tell me that that's not wild. I love her too, but that's crazy. She comes out there with a nest on her head. Okay, let's move on to Tsunami. She looks very like Prince, a very gender bender matador moment. And I think she looked very like Wawawiwa.
Yeah, yowza. Just like all the cartoon words you could use. Just yowza, awooga.
Yeah, enough said there.
Yeah.
Plain Jane came out though and gave me kind of the opposite reaction. She's in this like latex, like fetishy face mask look, but you know, whatever. I don't know.
Once again, she's not beating the baby Jimbo allegations. She's just not.
Yes.
This is a Jimbo look, just not as inspired.
Geneva's was even worse. I hate this. Oh my God, it's so bad. What is this? It's like Lisa Frank went to a funeral. I like can't. I'm sorry, Geneva, but this is rotted.
Geneva, I wish I could love this. I wanted to love this so much. I love me some just, I'm also Texas, so I love me like a highlighted animal print. It's very cute, but it was just not working for this.
Yeah, no, let's keep it to the binders and the shirts I had as an elementary school student, because this is not working for me. Maya's look, though, is clearly working for her, because this is clearly an outfit that she has just worn to a gig.
1,000%, and I cannot fault her for it. In fact, I love her even more. Like, every week, I find myself gaining that Maya bias, where I'm like, you know what? Like, she's been very consistent, and I've been very surprised. I thought she was gonna be the young queen who went home first, but no, like, she's got the looks, and she looked cute. Like, this was a cute look.
I thought so too. It was very cute. I was like, well, you're wearing a pussycat wig. You're wearing a cute look. I have nothing to say. Megami, made her look even better though, because Megami stomps down this runway in... No, okay, I want to be fair. Apparently that the look that she had planned broke or something was wrong with it and she couldn't use it, but this is bad. This is giving sorority party to me.
Excuses or not, you're on TV, this is your runway look. Like, regardless of what happens backstage, regardless of what happened off screen, this is the look you went with, and she's just very lucky she did well this week.
And Nymphia closes out the runway with a stunning look. I love that color red on her. And she has two hilarious reveals. She comes out with a beautiful cat wig, and then she reveals it to a pussycat wig, and then she reveals it to the opposite of that.
Yes.
And I thought it was very funny and very clever, and I just loved the entire look on her, honestly.
Yeah, I could have done without the final reveal, but that's the drag, that's the humor. It's like she couldn't be just gorgeous, she had to be funny too, and I get it, but I'm like, I wanted more time with the finger waves, and I was in love. I wanted more time with that look, and we got 2 seconds before she's like, oh, there's something else under here, and it's like, okay.
We come to our judging for the week. We have Maya, Geneva, Nymphia, and Megami winning, rightfully so, and everyone else was up for elimination, and based on cues like Frankenstein-esque dancing and Amanda's whole egg that she painted on her face, those two end up in the bottom two, lip-syncing for their life to Emergency by Icona Pop. What did you think of the lip sync? Because this one was contentious to people.
Yeah, it's not a great lip sync song. I think that's also why, but
weird song.
And maybe it's the Amanda bias showing, but she did do better. I know it's a debate when queens' looks fall apart through a lip sync that whether or not that sends them home, but she did do better. I appreciated the energy more, but I also 100% understand keeping Q, because Q, her looks, it's like, no, we kind of have to see what else she has.
People were like, Amanda was robbed, Riggory. I thought Q won. I didn't think that Q won by very much. I thought they kind of were serving the same thing. But for me, Amanda's egg look was like so distracting that I just like truly could not get past it to like see what she was giving me. And the people who were like, wow, Q was like so much worse than Amanda. I'm like, I don't think so. I think they were like, if anything, one edged out the other slightly, but I don't think that it was like a crazy runaway injustice, you know?
Yeah, I don't agree with that either. Like, they were very neck and neck. While I do think Amanda won of the two, it's also, it was just like by a little bit.
So I'm like, oh God, if it had to be one of the two of them, as much as I'm gonna miss Amanda for like plots and hilariousness and all the silliness that she brings, like I'd pick Q to stay over.
Yeah, I guess it's time for the competition to start, right?
Yeah, right. Well, next week we're gonna see Plain Jane slurp down the marrow of Amanda's like rotting corpse. And also the queens are gonna create their own dolls, which is gonna be interesting. Guest judge Lil Pound Cake.
Oh my God, I can't wait. See, this is another one where I'm like, oh, Amanda would have killed that. So
That's true. See, I'm missing her already.
Yeah.
But I guess we'll all have to tune in together to see what goes down, and then head over to PopCulture's social call. Every week we're recapping, and you can let us know what you think down in the comments. Until then, head over to popculture.com for the latest in entertainment news. Until next time, I'm Anna Rumor with PopCulture.
And I'm Nick Valdez with comicbook.com.
Bye, everyone.